It's not the car, it's not the dough, not the gym, not the clothes. Just freedom, just a play. It's not for nothing, but it's for
Podcast, man. This is a lovely guy. Let's go get out the way. Hey, we get back here, home.
Check it out, check it out. We know we live in effect, back in person, you know what I'm saying? But we still got to keep the virtual world happy. But the state of confusion is today's topic for the Two Sides podcast. The state of confusion is today's topic for the Two Sides podcast. Those streaming in, watching us on Instagram as well as all other platforms, definitely tune in. Tune in right now.
Yeah, and we got an exciting show, man. First of all, I want to give a special shout out to Auto Boss Lady who came through. I'm not laughing with the week before that. Yeah, she's a great guest. I want to say that. And talk about the guest we had last week.
Yes. Like Slim said, shout out to Boss Lady Auto Mechanic, as well as shout out to Miss Shani Chanel out of Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? R&B artist extraordinaire, entrepreneur, mother, and so many things. So definitely go to the Two Sides podcast on YouTube. Check out those previous videos. Make sure you subscribe and like and comment on that. Most definitely.
Right on. With that being said, before we get into the podcast, before we get into the music, tell us what the things you got going on as far as around the city and what you.
Well, man, I just left Humble ISD. We gearing up for 2024-2025 school year. So I just got done meeting with the administration of the schools out there. Just planning the calendar, getting everything geared up for the next upcoming school year after the summer ends. We got a mentor program that's been implemented throughout Humble ISD for young men, whether they be in elementary, middle, and high school, as well as we got a speaking engagement coming up with Miss Julia Sheldon with her organizations, Angels for Life. That will be on, what month we in? June 15, 2024. That'll be on June 15, 2024. If you go to my page right now, Speaker Brandon Gillespie, you'll see all the information, and we'll be sure to share that same information on Two Sides podcast as well.
Right on. Hey, let's jump into it, man. What we getting into tonight, man? What's the topic of tonight? This is crazy.
And the state of confusion. The state of confusion. And what that basically is saying is society, individuals, men, women, children, is in a state of confusion.
Now, the first question I'm going to ask you is, why is that? What's going on?
Well, there's many factors. There's many factors.
Let's get into it.
There's many factors, whether it's the foundation at the home, the mentality, the mental state of the youth, as well as the elders, and depending on how they were raised, how does this particular individual see how things should be done within society. So a lot of people right now, whether they be young or old, are living in a state of confusion. Morals and generational love and appreciation towards life and family have withered away. You have a small percentage of individuals who actually care about the foundation of a family and building a family as well as a community.
Right on. That being said, so as men, when you say confusion, state of confusion, I believe as men we're supposed to straighten that issue out. So do you feel like that power of men are just overall as a community?
Yeah, it goes back to our famous saying, you know what I'm saying? God, man, woman, you know what I'm saying? So man has the responsibility to be the primary example. Again, man has the responsibility to be the primary example. We can't expect the women of today's generation or the women of old to be the primary example when men are still walking around here with two legs and two eyes, two arms, with a brain. that needs to be utilized. So just it is the man's responsibility to take action and to be the example uh, to come out of this state of confusion.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So
I agree. I agree.
you know what I'm saying? And just to throw out there, we're gonna give them a prime example. We're gonna start off with some of the recent interviews and
Okay.
conversations that have been plaguing the internet as well as the social media waves. Everybody knows Terrence Howard. Terrence Howard from Empire, Terrence Howard from the original Iron Man, Terrence Howard from Hustle and Flow. If you haven't seen his recent interviews on just how he looks at life and speaking about the Hollywood scene and how he's basically, well, he was, or I don't know if he still is, a prostitute for Hollywood.
Possessed. Now listen to this shit now. Let me turn this shit up. Nigga say he was possessed when he put the wig on.
Really heard a lot of actors say about the process of acting. And you said that sometimes when you walk off, they walk off with your clothes.
Yeah.
Can you explain that?
Well, as an
Say they walk off with the nigga's clothes. Wait a minute. What the fuck did this? Wait a minute. Hold the fuck up. Let's do this again.
Heard a lot of actors say about the process of acting. And you said that sometimes when you walk off, they walk off with your clothes.
yeah.
Can you explain that?
Well, as an actor, you're more.
But explaining that whole realm of mindset and lifestyle, because he's saying a whole lot of things that may make sense in small context, but he's saying a whole lot of confusion things when he's talking about
You really divorce yourself of who you are,
Mm-hmm.
and you just become a garment that something else puts on. Now,
Right.
You hear that shit? He says you divorce yourself from who you really are and you become a garment. You see that something else puts on. I want y'all to listen to that shit.
divorce yourself of who you are,
Mm-hmm.
and you just become a garment that something else puts on. Now,
Right.
That
a lot of
something
people
else
sit up
puts
there and
on.
do impersonations of other folks,
Mm-hmm.
instead of allowing that spirit, but I sit up and I'll pray for a little bit and go in a dark place,
Mm-hmm.
You hear that
go in a
shit?
bathroom.
Now we know what, when we say dark and black, we know what it means for us. We know black divinity. This ain't what that nigga talk.
the new mathematical table, 1 times 1 equals 2 type stuff for his equation that he even came up with. So I don't remember 1 times 1 equaling 2, but if that's the state of confusion you want to be in, then that'll be for you. But if so many people, young and old, are grasping to this ideology of scientific understanding, so-called scientific understanding, and it has no biblical foundation or no truth, actual truth behind it. It's all man-made philosophy, man-made jargon, man-made nonsense, if you ask me. So, yeah, when take some time, people that are streaming in, checking in, to look up Terrence Howard's recent interviews, not just on that subject, but on many subjects, especially dealing with Hollywood.
Right on, right on. Now, what does the women play a part in this equation?
Well, our women play an extreme part. The first part of that equation for them would have to be to follow instructions. When they
Follow
feel,
instruction? Hold up. Say, women,
You
ladies,
know,
y'all can call in at 832-975-8100. Ladies,
You
now y'all listen.
you make it seem so bad. You make it seem so bad and
I
hard.
didn't say nothing. I just want to hear.
Let me
the
finish,
women.
Slim. Let me finish.
Okay.
Yes, the first and primary situation of that equation for women is to follow instructions. But they cannot follow instructions if they deem the one in position to lead is ignorant. So yes, I believe a woman, a real woman, would love to follow instructions of a man who's unignorant, who knows exactly where he's going, and it's about morals and stability and biblical principles. Now, if it's about this Holly weird lifestyle and this Holly weird way of thinking, like Terrence Howard talking about, then you may have some crash dummies that's gonna follow him.
Right.
Like we have a nation of crash dummies. Let's be honest here. We have a nation of crash dummies, and we as the rare real individuals that's still out here need to continue to speak up and be the prime example of how things should be done.
I, I agree to a certain extent.
Certain extent.
Yeah, I agree to a certain extent. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the women, I feel like they do play a part in it, but I don't feel like it's to the point where they have to listen,
Follow instructions.
However you want to put that. However you want to put that. I feel like they should just do womanly. You know what I'm saying? Things that we don't understand.
What would be more womanly things?
I would say the nurturing part, the parts where they able to reach the child from a different, like I said, different aspect or a different point. I would just say they're able to reach the child probably more emotionally. They're attached to the child, and maybe they embed that a little more. Womanly thing. They're not necessarily just listen to us, because I don't feel like we have all the answers to that situation. I put it like that.
Again, we in a state of confusion. Many women, many children, many men have all fell victim to something completely opposite of what's normal, what's natural, what's biblically sound, and what actually just makes sense. Women in today's society, we'll continue speaking that women in today's society have taken on a leadership role due to the men and their ignorance, due to the men and their lack of understanding.
So why would they want to listen to us? Because for our ignorance and our lack of understanding, especially as so-called black men, or how they say, we can't lead.
No, they not.
We're not leaders.
They not gonna listen. No,
they're not gonna listen.
If they know you coming from a place of ignorance,
right,
and you definitely don't know what you're talking about. Right. But that's why, as you said earlier, men have to be the primary example.
Our men not leaders too.
Well,
I really believe when they be saying a woman should be submissive, I feel like she should be submissive to a man that actually can lead us somewhere. Like and I know a lot of us who couldn't lead themselves to work this morning. You know what I'm saying? We know that. So it go both ways when you ask me, man, when it comes to that situation. So I can see a woman just saying, you know what, the hell with this dude, man. I'm gonna go out here and I'm gonna take care of me and my kid. And if I gotta go put the government on, I can kind of understand that if be that type of dude. Right, but I'm not that type of dude. But I understand that point. You know what I'm saying? All men are not leaders, man. We got a lot of women that's raising these men too. That's another thing that they are. Okay. Let's see what it do, man. Stay still, man. What we got in the building, man? You on live? You live or else? Yo, you live or else? Still, you live or else?
Already. I wanted that we were good. I feel like I'm for the role and how the whole deal, but I want to talk
Well,
Brother Brandon. Brother Brandon. Right.
Right? Men that tend to not be people on how the problem is like I don't think every man is good man. You gotta be worthy.
Right. Right.
It ain't big good leadership. Men choose men who whatever they might be talking about a false thing. That ain't the reality. The big world is right? So if you want your life, your false to be, you want to be that towards her. You can conduct that towards everybody time that's changed. If you live in the old method, you teach in the old method, that ain't relevant no more. You pay attention to your youth, and you pay attention to your teenager, or you got kids, that ain't gonna work anymore. You can go wrong. So we have to sit there where the people still want to make any money, and they had no choice because the men living in the household. So the problem is not, yes, women will still do try to raise sons, right? I believe only men can raise sons, and only women can raise daughters because only certain aspects of stuff that you can teach to a son, and only certain things that you can teach to a daughter. If you listen to that early, it's not the woman's fault. It's the element of the man, right?
Right.
You gotta realize when a boy is being brought up, they think it's evidence that's what's happening to them. You see how these videos, right? You see women get beat up, men holding camp, and it went back in my day. I was one of those, not back in the day,
Right.
So it's a different thing that's happening now. So you gotta change your way of thinking. You gotta do something called different. You gotta adapt to what's happening now. Not back in the day, I understand. You can try to look at something that's not going to even the Bible, not to return back to the days. You got to adapt to what's happening now and move forward too. And that's just my opinion. I love yourself, and I'm gonna hang those down with what you gotta say. And like I said, I was taking things that I say, that's just my opinion on things. I got kids, I'm a father, I'm coming from my daughter, I'm a son,
Yes, sir.
And a lawyer, and me as a man, I'm gonna do that for you.
Respect. We appreciate your time and calling in, most definitely.
But you want to respond to?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like our fellow brother said, we gotta adjust to the times, and I agree. I definitely agree. But I also believe that for us to adjust to the times we living in, we have to have a foundation to start from somewhere. We may not utilize the tools of that foundation as it was in the days of old, the same in the 2024 era, but we have to be able to alter and maneuver those tools to better adjust in the times we living in. But the thing is to take action. We got a lot of individuals who do not want to take action, just like our fellow comrade said, that want to sit and hold phones and record instead of actually getting in this mud and putting in this work to make our households better, and to make our communities better, to make our families better, to be that example. Action is definitely what's been lacking for the last few decades from men of color. And we, as men of color, definitely need to take action to back up the words and the conversations and, the antics and the different things that we do, because we will give entertainment, our fun time, more action rather than giving, mentorship, and things in that era of lifestyle, action and responsibility and time. So definitely, I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, man. Hey, thanks for calling in. Crazy producer, man. I want to give a shout out. He actually released a song today. He actually put a song out today. It actually came on all streaming platforms. And I want to say that the song maybe 13 years old, maybe. You know what I'm saying? I woke up this morning to it, man. We're like, man, are you serious? And then I had seen him probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago. He was like, man, I got this crazy song now to have it. And I was like, yeah. And I thought I knew what he was talking about.
Yeah,
when I heard the song this morning, man, it just blew my mind. I'm actually on the record. It's crazy. Shouts out, man.
Check it out. We appreciate the
And we
likes.
appreciate Kyle, man. We appreciate Kyle and
I
saying
see.
that great job.
I see the likes coming in on Instagram. I appreciate
Right
that.
on,
I
right
appreciate that. Y'all keep tuning in and liking and commenting and sharing.
Right on. Y'all can call in at 832-975-8100. That's 832-975-8100. I also wanna say, we can't really blame the man. We really can't blame the woman. I think it's kind of like well, we really can. You know what I'm saying? I think it's more of a situation to where the two heads of a household have to come together and focus as one. It's not about, who's in control. It's about making the best decisions for that household. With that being said, so it won't be a state of confusion. The child won't have the leverage to say, well, I know I can go to dad because dad gonna let me hang out at the skating rink. You know, he might be 12, 13. But if I go tell mama, mama gonna be like, no, you too young for this. But if it's not a collective one way in the house that both parents or both adults agree on, then we're going to be in a state of confusion. That's within a household. Now, as far as a community, we're going to seem like we're so far deep in the hole to get out of this state of confusion to where it's kind of hard to see a light. But I do have faith in God, and I do feel like we're going to get out of this hole. But the way that we look at TV, if we see this man with a nice baguette chain on, then we have to double that. You know what I'm saying? If he's driving this certain type of car, we have to have that certain type of car with the rims. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of the way our culture is viewed. That's kind of the way our culture reacts to these certain type of things. I feel like the shouts out to other nationalities. I feel like maybe the Arab children, they already in real estate. Right. They TikToks don't show them the same thing that our TikToks show us.
Yes, sir.
So I feel like as a culture, we're failing our generation after generation after generation. I feel like our generation before us failed us. And I for surely feel like we failed our generation under us. I think it's to the point now where it's like, save your child. Back in the day it was kind of more like, save the community. You make bad to going on the next street whoop you. It was cool. It was all right.
Yeah.
But as of today, it's like, save your child, the hell with everybody, and that's where our community is. But it's not like that in the Hispanic community. It's not like that in the Asian community. It's not like that even in the Caucasian community.
Yes,
So with that being said, what do you think about that big home?
We definitely see for some strange reason, like you say, it goes back to that action word. We haven't took action to actually pull together as a society, as a community, and do what those other ethnic groups have been doing for decades.
Right.
We are so caught up, again, in a state of confusion of battling with self. Oh, I don't like what Slim got. Let me go take it. Oh, I don't like how Slim look. Let me go mess with him. Oh, I don't like what Slim drive. That's all we worried about.
Right.
And that's all our youth is worried about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A state of confusion, of unadulterated nonsense, if you ask me. And in order to get out of that mindset, men particular, like I said, we can only ask so much from the women. But men in particular, we have to take action. I can only speak for myself. Whether I'm working or not, I still make time to mentor. I still make time to sacrifice the time.
Right.
Because as it is written, he who pretty much saves and confines his own life and worry about his own life will not, live, basically. But he who sacrifices his own life for the Lord and others will live.
Okay, check this. I got a comment from a listener from Instagram. He says, people always have to stop entering into new relationships damaged. Everyone can't heal you. What you think? And that's the one part of that first question. And from my listener on this side, they says, men are to be leaders, not to be led. So those two core questions. Men are to be leaders and not to be led. And the person from at Facebook and on Instagram, people also have to stop entering into new relationships, damaged goods.
Right.
Everyone can't hear you. What do you got to say about that? My brother.
God, man, then woman. So we understand the order of leadership. That's the answer to that question. And not to, in regards to going into different situations damaged. We all have been dealing with something, prior to even coming into a relationship.
Right.
We have to understand and respect the fact that if I can't respect myself and take the time to better self and to put self in a better position to where it don't matter who I'm with, and this goes for women and men, no matter who I'm with or what they do, I'm still going to be able to go to sleep at night without staying up thinking about you and losing my mind or wanting to be on the news or wanting to put you on the news. You know what I'm saying? And we get caught up in that. I tell people when they ask me, well, how you doing? I said, I'm not on the news and I haven't put nobody on the news. Because our particular ethnic group is so caught up in those unnecessary situations, foolery, that we find ourselves on the news or we find ourselves putting somebody on the news. So it's a lose-lose situation, you know what I'm saying? Right. So we definitely want to self-care. You want to be creative in whatever your lane is. You want to have your own focus, your own mindset. Don't be worried about so much 100% about a woman. Don't be worried about 100% about a man. Live your life. And like Slim said a little while ago, even the Bible says, at the end of the day, save yourself. Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling.
Hey, man, that's what's up. That's what's up. Hey, y'all can call us at 832-975-8100. It's 832-975-8100. Do the children, once they get a certain age, can we hold them accountable for their actions, knowing we failed them?
Can we hold them accountable?
Everybody should be held accountable for what they do. But is it to say, okay, there are no more Dr. Martin Luther Kings. There are no more Malcolm X.
Right.
There are no more Huey P. Newton. They're not even any Reverend Jesse Jackson. I'm just gonna go. Okay. They've just completely taken what Obama had done. You don't even hear about him no more, about nothing. They kind of like erased him. You get like they kind of like erased him off the map, like all these old presidents.
Well, hold on.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. They. And
you okay.
Who is they? We giving action around here. We giving a lot of action. See,
they is the power they may be.
You mentioned Obama, and I'm from Chicago, so I get it.
I know you get it.
I get it real well.
Okay.
I get it extremely well. From the concrete to the sky. But it is not they who is erasing. See, if Obama wanted to stay moving and in the scene and doing stuff, he can. But in that particular society of realm, a code, one may say, not to overshadow a sitting president, not to overshadow what a sitting president may be doing. But granted, yeah, he's still getting stuff done with his organization and foundation. But with the world in the chaotic state that it's in, I feel, being that you mentioned Obama, that he could be more in action.
That's my point.
Around the U.S. as well as around the world.
That's my point. So we don't have that figure today to say, this is our leader. This is the way to go. Do you know the influence Obama could have just to be? What I was in the North Forest School. Okay. Shouts out to North Forest. I hate, we're not around anymore, but shouts out to the North Forest. I was in, and look, man, they had Every school in North Forest in a stadium. It was cold as hell out there.
Right. Right.
Reverend Jesse Jackson pulled up.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying, probably about 8, 9 years old.
Right. Right. Right.
That stuck in the back of my head, man. He had us all saying, man, I am somebody.
Somebody.
He had us all saying, and I felt proud to be black, man. I felt proud to be me. I felt, and that was Reverend Jesse Jackson.
Right.
Do
Right.
you
Right.
know the impact, especially with social media, if we had that Martin Luther King today?
Yeah.
Do you know the power that one could hold? Just imagine if Martin Luther King had Facebook and Instagram, man.
I feel you.
So the power is there.
Yeah. It's definitely there.
Where is he?
It's definitely there.
Where is he?
That's the problem.
Or it could be
That's the
C.
problem.
Where is she? Could it be C?
But that's the
Could it be a
problem.
C?
That's the problem with us. We looking for a savior in somebody else.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
That's what it sounds
That's
like.
not what I'm saying.
I don't need
That's not what I'm
Martin.
saying.
I don't need Malcolm. I don't need Obama to tell me what the hell to do.
Me neither, bro.
That I know I need to be doing. Now they may sound good telling me what to do.
No.
You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I still got to make the decision to go home and do what I need to do.
That's
We got to make the
home.
decision
We're
ourselves.
talking about. We're talking about the culture. The person to captivate the culture. When
I can captivate myself.
when Farrakhan said, we gonna march the Million Man March, I couldn't have called it. I couldn't have done it.
But
when Martin Luther King said, say, man, I have a dream. Then what?
But
There all the people out there, I couldn't have done it.
But damn it, if Homestead still wanted to march from Homestead to Mesa Road with a group of individuals, I believe you could have orchestrated that.
It wouldn't have that impact.
It would have still had an impact, even though it would have been on a smaller level. It still would have been.
I feel like I do my
been an
part for the
impact.
community. I feel like I do my part for the community. I feel like I do my part for the community. So with that being said, like Homestead still do a lot for the community. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I do my part. I mentor young black kids. I have two young black kids of my own. Shout out to Jeremiah. Shout out. Hey, my boy Jeremiah got 11 awards, man. 11 awards, man. Shout out to that boy Jeremiah, man. I love him still, man. Shout out to him and shout out to my other son, Jaden. Shout out to Jaden. Playing basketball. He having a hard time right now, under the weather. But I have boys as well. And I know the importance of them being to look up to their dad. You know, say, well, my dad is not the richest guy in the world. But my dad does show me how to love his mother. But at the same time,
But why would that be the ideology of a child to even think that my dad may not be the richest? What defines? See, that's a part of that state of confusion. And we have to rip that out of us so it won't be in them.
well,
You are wealthy because you are you.
that's what I teach them.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was getting. I teach them the value of family, the value
Right.
of love,
Right.
the value. That's what I was rounding out to. I teach them. But with that being said, we don't have that. Even Charles Barkley said, you remember Charles Barkley back in the day, he said, I'm not a role model. Your dad should be the role model.
True.
I'm not your role model.
True.
And I agree with that statement. But I'm getting around to say is that today we have no one to bring us all together to a point to where we were. So at that point, I feel like we digressed. We digressed from leadership just for the Black Panthers in the 60s to even have their own community, their own bus service, their own school. Now we have went backwards, and it seems like today with all this modern technology, we should be able to pick that up and take it forward and push for our culture. But we individually may be doing it, but I feel like we're not doing it as an overall. And how can we get that done? It may not be in the form of a person, but who is that person and how can we get to that point? That's my question. If I was long-winded, but I got to my point.
As an individual, a man or woman individual, how do we get to that point?
Right.
Now, if you want to be in a state of confusion, believe there is no higher entity than yourself, then I'm gonna leave you in your state of confusion.
Okay.
But this is how you get molded and grafted in the way that you need to be to get to that point, by building that spiritual relationship with the Most High,
Right.
with practicing His ways, His methods, allowing your mind not to be a mind of carnal, but a sound mind filled with His wisdom and knowledge.
Let me ask you this,
Mm-hmm.
and this kind of out sudden, but I'm gonna go there with you since you said that.
Go there.
You don't feel like God understands exactly what you just said, and that we're being punished as a people from being kings to now being third and fourth class citizens in the world today. You don't think that's a whooping that we got, that we getting because we can't come together and be the king that we supposed to be in this world? You don't think that? I'm just gonna throw that at you for a hot second.
The what you say is whoopings and self-afflictions. Let's call it self-afflictions.
Self. This culture
Because-
now. We talking culture.
Because there's no more of bonds and chains holding us down. We have more than enough access to do what we need to do. We have more than enough opportunity to get done what we need to get done. We have more than enough time to wake up, get out, and be somebody. Now, if we choose not to utilize that time, if we choose to not utilize the opportunity, if we choose and not utilize the life that was given to us in the time we're living in right now, then that is a self-affliction wound that we are putting on ourselves and our households and our children and for the generations to come. Because there is no one else holding us back. Systematically, physically, we may endure verbal abuse, but we endure verbal abuse amongst our own every day. So rather someone of a different ethnic group or color giving you verbal abuse shouldn't mean nothing, because you endure it every day amongst people of your own.
Okay.
So say, okay.
I don't know if that answers the question, but I'll take that.
In the words of Fred Hammond, I am a revolutionary. So everybody needs to get to a revolutionary state of mind and put on their boots, put on their war suits, get up, get out, don't give no complaints. Don't be trying to figure out who gonna give you something. Go get it. It's there for the taking.
I don't think.
Don't literally
I don't
take
think
it.
I don't think we can change the culture.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we can change the culture individually.
When you say change the culture individually, I mean, in what part of the culture?
I don't think just because you stay at 4215 we there and you run your household perfect, or you doing it the right black man way,
Yeah.
that the next household is. It's not translating what you doing in your household, the way you living is not translating over to the next man's household or the community or even the world. So we can individually do that, but at the same time, for culturally, I mean, it's gonna take more than
One person?
yes.
One household?
For me, right? It's gonna take more than that.
All it takes is one little ripple of rock to cause a wave in a lake or an ocean, right?
No.
No? Have you threw a rock in a pond
I have.
and see the
And
waves?
it's sunk straight to the bottom.
But
It's sunk straight.
it may
The reality of it is, it's sunk straight to
But what
the
was the
bottom.
reaction when it hit that water?
So we that pebble, we hit the water, we go
got
straight to
a
the bottom. So how many?
reaction.
And I'm gonna say, how many niggas is at that bottom?
We got.
And how many niggas jumping up?
Why is it at the bottom?
Watch it.
Why is it at the bottom?
Watch it.
That's not the bottom.
It
That's not the
is.
end.
It was just.
That's not the
Okay,
end.
watch this.
You
Watch
just
this.
reunited with the
Can
foundation.
I
There you go. Look
Can I
at
say
it.
something? Can
Go
I talk?
ahead,
Can I
go
talk? Can I
ahead.
say something? That pebble, right? Now, when that boulder came in from outer space and hit that water, hit the world, what happened? What happened?
It caused a reaction.
What reaction was it? Did it change the world?
It caused a
Did it change the world?
It caused a
And that wasn't a pebble, that was all the pebbles together. When that big pebble hit the world, it destroyed it. It changed the whole complexity
But
of
that's
how
what's
the
wrong
world.
with us. We so much waiting on, man. I ain't gonna get out there and do nothing until I have enough money. Man, I ain't gonna do nothing until I finish this. Okay? No, we still need to produce, whether your action be small or great, we need to
But
produce
that,
some
that's not, but that's not the reality about me. Like my reality.
We
My
gotta
reality is
change
I'm in the
reality.
community, but the person to say, well, Slim, you going from 1 to 10. Slim, let's come together and go from 1 to 20. Where he at?
Mm-hmm.
Where he at? What to do once we get there, we can call Alan. You know Alan. Hey, Alan, man, we doing this here, such and such, such and such. You doing your black man, we go. Yeah, man, no problem. Where they at?
Mm-hmm.
Where the plugs at? Man, we'd have been in rooms, me and Alan, man. We'd have been in, man, me and you both. We'd have been in rooms, man, with all kind of people. Did they pull us in?
I mean, that's
I'm asking the question, like you said, I ain't asking for no handout or like that, but we can make the change. You show these people, you just like me. Me and you together, we come together to make a change.
right, right,
Me and you.
right,
This was in podcast and fuck.
right,
This
right,
was, we was like, we able to do that.
right, right.
Everybody ain't like that, you know.
Everybody not like that. Everybody not built like that. But that's why, for those that are, we overshadow them.
Okay.
Now, there comes a part of time where you get in a state of mind to where you either with us or you're against us. You either gonna comply or you gonna move around. And that's how we have to police our communities and police our society. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be no more Hollywood way of thinking, Hollywood way of living. You know what I'm saying? If you want to do all that, that jive over there, then you do it far over there. Way far over there, that way it doesn't influence
Right.
the seeds to come. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
But, you know what I'm saying, definitely a hot topic, definitely a hot discussion. You know what I'm saying, we came past our 30-minute, tick, on the clock. But, it's definitely a hot topic, and we wish everyone, that's been streaming in, viewing in on all the platforms, you know what I'm saying? Y'all can continue to check us out, on YouTube at the Two Sides Podcast, as well as on Instagram, the Two Sides Podcast, Two Sides the Podcast. Just search it on, again, YouTube, search it on Instagram. But, you know what I'm saying, if you want to be a guest, you know what I'm saying, you want to chime in on the conversation, definitely hit Slim or hit myself up. We got some hot interviews coming up, you know what I'm saying, from our people here in Houston, as well as others from out of town. So stay tuned, stay upright, and stay ready for war.
Ready for war.
Gotta stay ready.
I like that, man.